Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kari, and today I want to talk about Goodreads. You know, with the results of the 2024 Goodreads Awards just coming out very recently, I wanted to look back and see, can we really trust Goodreads? You know, every year they do this big awards thing and claim to award what the best book is every year, but you know, can we actually trust what they're telling us? So what I want to do today is look back at the last 10 years of Goodreads Awards and see which books were nominated in each of the categories each year and see which ones that I have read and do some calculations, do some averages to see what have I thought of the books that have been nominated in the Goodreads Choice Awards in the last 10 years. Can they be trusted that these are actually good books? So we won't just look at the ones that have won. I want to look at all the books that were even nominated each year in each category, see which ones I have read, what did I rate each of those books, and then kind of do a star rating average for each year. And then we'll have a star rating average for the past 10 years of nominees. What have I thought about those books? Can I trust the Goodreads Awards to propose me books that I'm actually gonna like? So in 2015, A Little Life was nominated for fiction. Okay, well, Goodreads, you're off to a good start. Okay, one of my favorite books of all time, so 5 stars. The Girl on the Train, okay, I think everybody loved that book. I gave that book 5 stars. Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter, loved that book, 5 stars, very dark. The Kind Worth Killing, another great thriller. I gave it 5 stars. So those are the only books from 2015 that I've read that were nominated. Okay. All right, Goodreads, you're off to a good start. That's an average of 5 stars for 2015. Okay, all right. It was only 4 books though. Okay, so let's keep going. Then in 2016, the thriller Behind Closed Doors was nominated for thriller and debut author. So I'm going to count that twice, and I rated it 5 stars. Now, I will say that a lot of these I read back closer to when they came out, and I haven't reread them. So if I reread it today, would I give it a 5 stars? I don't know. But I can only use the data that I gave myself whatever year I read this back 5 years ago, or even longer, I guess, because I didn't read this in 2016. I would have read it in like 2018 maybe. Okay, that's 6 years, but still. Okay, anyway, I'm going to count it twice, so it gets 5 stars twice, 2016. Then it was also The Couple Next Door, which I also gave 5 stars back when I read that. And Orange, this manga, was nominated as well, and I gave that 2.5 stars. So those were the only nominated books from 2016 that I read, and that's a 4.2 star average. As we go further in the years, I've read more and more books every year, so back in 2015, 2016, there's not that many books, but as we progress, there's more and more. All right, then in 2017, The Girl Before, I gave that 5 stars. That's a thriller. Stillhouse Lake, I did not like that book. That's a thriller that I gave 3 stars. Talking as Fast as I Can, I gave 3 stars. Tears We Cannot Stop, a nonfiction, I gave 3 stars. And my favorite thing is Monsters, a graphic novel that I gave 5 stars. So that gives 2017's average a 3.8 stars. Not great. Okay. Then in 2018, My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Ottessa Moshfegh, I gave a 3.25, which, looking back at that, I'm kind of surprised that that's what I gave My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I feel like I need to reread it. But anyway, that's what I rated it, so that's what I'm going to say. The Wife Between Us, a thriller that I did not like, 2.5 stars. Then in 2018, they had this really weird category, the Best of the Best, where they nominated books not from that year. So like, for example, Catching Fire, like the Hunger Games book, was in there. I mean, it was a part of the 2018 Goodreads Choice Awards, so I'm going to put this in there. I gave Catching Fire 5 stars way back whenever I read that. Atomic Habits, again, this is another one I question if I would give it 5 stars today, but I gave it 5 stars then, so I'm going to have to calculate that. And Educated, I gave 5 stars. So 2018 gets a 4.2 star average. Then in 2019, oh my God, I read so many books from 2019. First we have The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. I gave a 4 star. The Silent Patient was nominated for Best Thriller and Best Debut, and I gave that 5 stars. So again, it's going to count twice. Lock Every Door, one of my favorite thrillers, 5 stars. My Lovely Wife, I gave 3.75 stars. Also, you see that as time goes on, I start being more precise in my ratings. Like I start giving 0.25, 0.75, 0.5 in my ratings, whereas the older books, when I was first getting into using Goodreads, I was like strictly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars, but then I start being more precise. The Test, which is a like science fiction horror novella, I gave 4 stars. Bunny, What do you think? Dear Girls, which is a nonfiction memoir, I gave 2 stars. Catch and Kill, 5 stars. 3 Women, 4 stars. Trick Mirror, 3.5 stars. Know My Name, 5 stars. We Are the Weather, 3 stars. There's so much nonfiction in 2019. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nonfiction I read from 2019. That's crazy. So the star average for 2019 is 4.2. So actually that's the same star rating as 2018, but I read way more books from the 2019 awards than the 2018 ones, and it still did pretty well in the average, so not bad. Then for the 2020 nominations, I've read Such a Fun Age, and that was nominated for fiction and also debut, so it's going to get 3.5 twice. Then My Dark Vanessa, also that was nominated for fiction and debut, so that's going to be 2 5 stars. The Guest List, I gave 3.5 stars. Addie LaRue, 4 stars. Piranesi, 5 stars. Tender as the Flesh, 3 stars. A Very Punchable Face, 5 stars. And Fangs, I gave 5 stars. Actually, I just read that like a month and a half ago. So that gives the 2020 nominees a 4.3. Okay, so our averages are only going up. To be honest with you, I'm surprised. I would have expected the average to go down because I know that I was so generous in my ratings at the beginning when I first started using Goodreads. I'm kind of surprised. Then for the 2021 nominations, I've read Beautiful World, Where Are You? 4.5 stars. The Sentence for the Women's Prize for Fiction, 2 stars. The Maidens, 3.75 stars. The Push, which was nominated for thriller and debut, so that's 2 5 stars. Local Woman Missing, 4 stars. The Plot, 2.25 stars. Clara in the Sun, 5 stars. And Cultish, 5 stars. So that gives 2021 a 4.1 star rating. Then for 2022, we have The Paris Apartment, 3.75 stars. The Marriage Portrait, 2 stars. Hidden Pictures, 5 stars. What Moves the Dead, 4.5 stars. We Spread, 4 stars. I'm Glad My Mom Died, 5 stars. And Uncultured, 4 stars, which gives 2022 a 4-star average. Then last year in 2023, there was Big Swiss. Honestly, I was so surprised that Big Swiss was nominated. I feel like that wasn't like a very big book, so good for you, Goodreads. That was 5 stars. The Only One Left, 3.5 stars. A House with Good Bones, 1 star. I think that's the only 1 star on this list. Rouge, 5 star. Butts, A Backstory, 4.5 stars. The Woman in Me, 4 stars. Page Boy, 3 stars. Paris, A Memoir, 5 stars. So that gives 2023 a 3.9 star rating. A House with Good Bones really destroyed those books for 2023. Then this year, I hadn't read many of these books at all. I've read only 3 of the books that were nominated this year, which is pretty crazy because I feel like I read a lot of new releases this year, but apparently not the ones that are being nominated for the Goodreads Awards, which that's something we need to talk about. But the books that I read that were nominated this year were The Midnight Feast, I gave it 3.75. The Eyes Are the Best Part, which was nominated for horror and debut, I gave that a 4.5 stars. And Incidents Around the House, I gave 5 stars. So that gives 2024 a 4.4 star average. So if we look at this data, the worst year was 2022 at 3.75 stars, and the best year was 2015 with 5 stars. And I mean, those 2015 books, A Little Life, The Girl on the Train, Pretty Girls, The Kind Worth Killing, I stand behind those 5 stars. A Little Life, that's one of my favorite books of all time. The Girl on the Train, I remember I love that book. Do I need to reread it? Yes, but I did love it. I'm not questioning that I loved it so much. Pretty Girls, I read that fairly recently. I love that book. The Kind Worth Killing, that's like an all-time thriller in my mind. Again, do I need to reread it? Yes, but I remember that I really loved it. So I'm not questioning that average. Now, it is only 4 books, so it's not the biggest pool of data, but still, like, even just the fact that A Little Life is on it, that was a good year for books, obviously. So anyway, if we look at the star rating for the last 10 years, the average, I gave a 4.2 stars to these nominated books that I've read. That's pretty good. However, we do have to keep in mind that I'm not making myself read all the books that have been nominated. Of course, the average would be way lower if I had to read all the books in the fiction category or all the books in the thriller category. The average would be way lower. So, I mean, we do have to think about the fact that I'm only reading books that I think I'm going to like. And a lot of these books, I didn't read them because they were nominated by Goodreads. I read them because I found out about them whenever and chose to read them. I will say that there are 2 books that I read precisely because they were nominated for the Goodreads Awards, and those were The Silent Patient and The Guest List. This was before I was into watching booktube. I didn't even know booktube existed. That's how I got my thriller recommendations, was through Goodreads. And so after The Silent Patient won, won, that was the first thriller that I read the next year. And After the Guest List won, that was the first thriller that I read the next year. So definitely those two I read because they were nominated, but everything else on that list I would have just happened to have read because I was interested in it, not because Goodreads told me about it. But the point of going through this is that I just wanted to see, do I agree with Goodreads that they're proposing good books? So on one hand, I think that we can say, yes, I do agree. I mean, 4.2 star average, that's really good. But on the other hand, I'm not reading everything that they're proposing, so I can't really say that that's conclusive, that they're totally proposing only good books, because I'm not reading the other books because I'm not interested in them, you know? Like if I read those, I would give them low star ratings. Would I find something that I like? Yeah, probably, but I would not like more than I like if I force myself to read books from these nomination lists. So I guess what I'm saying is that, yeah, I can trust Goodreads if I'm already interested in the book already. So that does make me think, for the books that I've marked as want to read on Goodreads that have been nominated for some of these different categories, it does make me think that I should go back and read those books because it's probably likely that I'm going to like them. So that's something to think about. But yeah, I would say overall, I can trust Goodreads to be proposing books that I'm going to like. However, there are so many books that I've loved that have been published in the last 10 years that were not nominated. For example, Vladimir by Julia May Jonas. It came out in 2022. It wasn't nominated. That's one of my favorite books of all time. I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. That came out in 2016. It wasn't nominated. One of my favorite books of all time. Sorrow and Bliss by Meg Mason. That came out in 2021. Not nominated. One of my favorite books of all time. So, you know, those are just 3 examples of books that I have adored and they're in my top favorite books of all time that they weren't nominated by Goodreads. So in that way, yeah, I can't trust Goodreads that they would have pointed books like that out to me because they didn't even nominate them. So yeah, overall, yeah, I can trust Goodreads, but also I can trust myself. I can trust myself to find the books that I really like. I don't need Goodreads to nominate the books that I think are going to be the best because, you know, they've ignored some of the best books that I've read that have been published in the last 10 years. So anyway, just keep that in mind. You know yourself better than Goodreads knows you. Read the books that you want to read. Of course, it's fun to do the Goodreads Choice Awards. I vote in the Goodreads Choice Awards. It's fun, but it's definitely not the end all be all of the best books of the year. So definitely let me know your thoughts about the Goodreads Choice Awards. What is your history with Goodreads? Definitely let me know. I'd love to chat with you about it in the comments, and I'll talk to you again next time. Bye.